claim home as the destination, choose inclusion over separation, and build a refuge, a sanctuary, a place of healing that nurtures and supports all beings. Let's build a home.
So welcome to the 5th Earth Family Call, now from Uganda, after we traveled Zimbabwe, South Africa, Lesotho, Tanzania. And indeed, the last week, friends, has been one of extraordinary challenges, technological breakdowns. I think we have at least 3 flat tires that we had to repair in the middle of the night, in the middle of the motorway. So our time schedule got again and again jeopardized, and yet we prevailed. Team spirit succeeded, and we got cars going, we got moving. We went from the Mutokola border point, the border point between Tanzania and Uganda, where we were welcomed by Rufin and Roger, and we had a real family reunion literally on the border. And then these 3 young, highly talented youth leaders brought us into the place where they are forced to live, in the Nakivale Refugee Camp, which is about 2 hours from the border point. And here we witnessed, and you will now soon become also witness of this, the most extraordinary shining examples of resilience, of innovation in the midst of highly challenging circumstances, where leaders, and today is a particular focus on youth, young people of young age already gave rise to mature organizations with powerful community impact. Rama shared already, we traveled from Nakivale to Kampala and now to Sina in Rufiji. And I want to end a short introduction with a little poem that gives you perhaps a bit of a sense of the energy and the values we encountered here in Uganda, in Africa. It's called On the Way from Nakivale to Kampala. And you should know, we stepped on that pathway, the equator, as well. We stepped into the equator ring. On our way from Nakivale to Kampala, we got a taste of brotherhood, of love, upenso. We saw a school of cranes within the evening sky on our way from Nakivale to Kampala. The air was charged with peace, amani. We went through breakdowns and repair, recharge and restoration on our way from Nakivale to Kampala. We finally arrived upon the shores of the great waters, Nalu Bale. Upon completion of our way from Nakivale to Kampala, the taste of freedom covered our tongues, Uhuru. The full moon guided us on our way from Nakivale to Kampala. We saw each other eye to eye and heart to heart, Ubuntu. That's the spirit in which we traveled. This is the spirit with which we were welcomed here at SINA. SINA stands for Social Innovation Academy. SINA is now in its 10th year of being a fulcrum, a hotspot of social innovation, in particular for young leaders from Uganda, from across Africa and beyond Africa, who come here and learn the skills of innovating in service of their communities. And we are very happy to have from SINA today with us, Josephine and David with us. Greetings to the 2 of you. And so here in SINA are 2 organizations. SINA is the mother organization, Academy, but the daughter which has been given birth here is called Django International. Django meaning come. Come. You can sense the resonance with home. The home has been built here. And meet, please, Josephine Nakiyemba, lead of Django International, life coach of SINA, and part of the founding cohort, Josephine, 10 years ago. And by her side, David Mande himself, a gifted social innovator and technological innovator. Kindly mute when your microphones are open. So introducing David Mande, one of the co-founders of SINA 10 years ago and a scholar selection lead of Django. Josephine and David, do introduce SINA to the international audience. What is happening here?
Okay, hello everyone. In front of you is Nachimba Josephine, empowerment lead at Django International, one of the pioneer students for SINA and a women change maker. I'm glad to present to you today the Social Innovation Academy, that is a community that is turning challenges into opportunities to support youth, create jobs for themselves and the communities where they come from for the better future. Today, we are delighted to be among the Home for Humanity, and we welcome you all at the SINA grounds. The very first community is Django International, where we are right now, that is focusing on empowering youth between the age of 18 to 30 years. It's a period of 10 years now, and we are looking forward to celebrate our 10 years next year in March, and you're all welcome to join us next year. So with you here, it's not just an organization, but a transformative place that brings people from different communities, different countries together to join the movement and transform the youth from being unemployed to being job creators and community builders. With me, I am the empowerment lead at Django International, passionate about uplifting talents, passions from the youth to become better versions of themselves. I am a life coach because I believe so much in building personality. With great personality, you can be able to build a better business and you can be able to manage connections with other people and networks that can take you to the greater heights. I'm also co-founding Suya Women Foundation, which was also initiated here at Django International, a community of SINA, the home of SINA, that is empowering teenage and single mothers to become self-sustainable and independent. Allow me to hand over to David Mande to tell you more about SINA. He's my mentor when I joined Django International and SINA, and I'm always proud to talk about him, and I'm glad that I'm here today with him to represent SINA on this event. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Josephine. I greet you all, the people of One Home, and I'm so grateful that you have met. David Mande, the scholar selection lead at Django International and also training coordinator, empowerment stages. SINA is not only just in Mpigi, but it's a global platform that has been created for the youth. It is all about transforming the youth to become social entrepreneurs by looking and also understanding the challenges that communities are experiencing and turning them into solutions. And then later, these solutions are turned into social enterprises. So these solutions, after being turned into social enterprise, the scholars are given a mandate to become social entrepreneurs by becoming self-independent. So besides that, it is a leadership platform where the youth themselves, after being entrepreneurs, still they are trained to become leaders for themselves. Becoming a trainer and a leader, I was able also to come up with an enterprise because it is a platform of innovation. So I came up with an enterprise called Dependenza Shelters, which is aiming at transforming plastic waste into eco-friendly building materials to construct eco-houses, where we are looking at creating a solution to housing, especially for the homeless and in rural areas. And so far we have been training in refugee camps. We have been so far in 3 refugee camps, supporting them and training them how to construct these houses. So in all that we do, we are trying to create employment opportunities because we are led by approach called labor-based approach that gives them an autonomous kind of power to them for them to create to develop and construct their own houses without incurring a lot of costs. So Social Innovation Academy, it is not only empowering us to become social entrepreneurs only, but also it helps us to become leaders as a whole. So we are led by a philosophy called free responsibility, where we have freedom to innovate, but we are also responsible for our own life. So everyone here at SINA, and especially Janku International, which is one of the homes of SINA. It is the first home of SINA because SINA is now growing globally, because now the movement is about transferring the whole model from Uganda, not only in Uganda, but also other countries, that even other youth in other countries can still learn what we are doing here, transforming their lives and become better. Also looking at solutions, looking at challenges and turning them into solution and opportunities. So we are looking at the global movement. So SINA is no longer only in Mbiji, but also it is at a global level. That's why we have now scholars from different countries. Currently, we have people from Nepal, we have people from Nigeria, we have been having people from Tanzania and many others. So it is a home for everyone. That's why even we are so excited for today that we are creating, and we are just now becoming part of one of the homes that is being introduced to us today. And we are happy for Alexandra. Yes, for introducing this, that tomorrow we want to grow and have these homes in Uganda grow together, unify together, and become one entity, so that we can solve the community challenges like the way we have already started here at Janku International, one of the homes of SINA, and we would love to move globally to create change, both an individual and also at a community level. Thank you so much. We shall be able to support each other. Maybe you answer very many questions as you clarify, and we shall be answering given out an opportunity. I give the platform back to Josephine, maybe small.
Okay, thank you so much, David Mande. Maybe to add something small, just for you to know, we are so far having 11 SINA communities all around Africa, and we have 4 more upcoming SINA communities, and they are all focusing on youth empowerment from different refugee camps. We have in Nakivale, we have in Ramanja, and we are looking forward to other refugee camps. Bidi, the biggest refugee camp in Uganda or in Africa even, it's also having a SINA community called SINA Locator. So you can just go on our website for SINA and check more about us. You can visit all different communities in different countries, support them, give them feedback, and we are always open to learning, because we believe that through impacting the community, we can be able to also generate income. So we have a slogan, which is impact drives income. We believe in solving community problems for a better world. We believe that we have the best solutions within ourselves to solve our own problems. And we are glad to be part of the movement, moving together and creating a community that is transformative and there for each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Josephine, and thank you, David, for this powerful introduction into SINA on behalf of the, may I say, local and global SINA community. Because friends, when you come here, you come in a way into a modern version of an African village where one really feels home. You find round huts, the houses built by David, integrating plastic bottle, recycling, upcycling plastic in the most eco-friendly architecture. And a community has been built here, which is locally anchored. Over 100 people, I think, are living here full time, and thousands of youth around the planet across all continents have been impacted and building their own social innovations. So you could get a sense by being invited here into this home that this is a true home for humanity. And it is for that very reason that it gives us immense pleasure also with all of you witnessing this very special moment to honor today SINA as an exemplary home for humanity. And this is taking place in this very moment. We have the little daughter, Gabriela, of Josephine with us as our mascot for this call, one of the future leaders. And
what's very special today is normally because Alexander and I are traveling on behalf of the Home for Humanity movement, planetary movement, and on behalf of all our partners globally, we are the two who get to hand it over. But today I'm going to ask our Home for Humanity family members, you can easily recognize with our Home for Humanity t-shirts, made by a Ugandan, Amanyarko Jones, who has designed and hand-printed these t-shirts of Home for Humanity. Please join us so we jointly hand over the certificate to David and Josephine and Gabriela. So Gabriela, you can stand here and receive it. This is saying that SINA Social Innovation Academy is here with honor. Yes, you can bring the drums in a minute, please. We want big drumming in a minute. It's here with honored and recognized as an exemplary home for humanity for your outstanding contribution to personal transformation of the inner home, to community and cultural transformation of the local home, and the well-being of the family of life, Earth Home. And indeed, we have been just struck by how your philosophy, your methodology is so resonant with that of Home for Humanity, our local partners, our planetary. Please, you thank you so much.
Josephine, would you like to say a couple of words?
Yes, so thank you so much. One home, one journey, Home for Humanity. We are really grateful as SINA today to have been recognized as a home for humanity. At one point, we didn't see this coming, but it's a great pleasure that the communities are growing and more lives are being transformed. And we believe that we are becoming great change makers in the whole world and transforming the world for the better. And most importantly, connecting to the world more and yes, building this together. So you're all welcome to continue joining the movement. And even if you would like to replicate SINA to your country, please reach out, Jangu International. We can train you. You get everything how we do it, and then you'll be able to replicate this to your community for the betterment of a whole world. Thank you very much.
Now, in addition to what Josephine has just said, as how we said our slogan that impact drives income, you can see that even certificates, they are coming when we have not even invited them. It means that that's due to the impact that we have created. So outside there, as we are moving forward, we invite that everyone should look at the impact. And that's what SINA is doing. We are looking at the impact in the communities, and then income will come later. It will follow. That's just the impact that we have created. So we are looking at the social ventures that are aiming at creating impact. So we look forward to transforming communities and the youth. Impact. So words, we say thank you for recognizing SINA. We are so grateful that we can be recognized to this level, that we didn't know that we may come one day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Josephine and to David. And I know we
The
also
whole community which has come
Yes.
to receive it together.
and to the thousands of the SINA community around the world. And I do know one of the co-founders, Etienne Salborn, is with us. He's currently in Germany. And might at the end of the call, hopefully, Etienne, we are going to hear your voice. And with that, with this beautiful moment here with Sina and at Sina, also to mentioning Josephine and David, that your work has often been focusing on refugees, on orphans, on marginalized youth. And with that, Rama?
Yeah, we're just finding the YCA.
With that, dear friends, we would like to introduce another new local partner organization, which is in the Rhino Refugee Settlement Camp towards the north of Uganda, near the city of Arua. And we have actually the board members, the founding members of the Youth Camp Africa with us, which is also a grantee, a partner of our partner organization, Purpose Earth. And I see Bakata Alex there, and I hope also Abilo Alfred is with us, while we are having here Luate Shem with us on the ground. Abilo Alfred and Bakato Alex, can you hear us? Please share with us briefly of your innovative work of Youth Camp Africa in the Rhino settlement, refugee settlement.
And thank you for co-hosting this call for us and making us feel that we are right there with you. We would have loved to be there in person, but this is very beautiful that we are connecting Sina and Youth Camp Africa in the Rhino Refugee Camp through your hosting the call there. Over to you, Alex and team.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. YCA is very pleased. The staff of YCA are all very happy for this moment today, that what we have been talking about has come to pass, and it's surely happening, and we are very proud of that. And I want to also congratulate Sina for taking that up. I think they have grabbed some very important opportunity, which should have been for YCA hosting you right here in Rhino Camp. Unfortunately, conditions like car breakdown couldn't allow us to meet in person, but we are very, very happy that we are part of it, and Sina has taken it up by hosting all of us. Otherwise, we are very grateful for Sina. We are very grateful for everyone who is part of this community. And yeah, we are very proud. We are also committed to supporting each other in case there is a need, and we are also here to also present ourselves as one of the youngest organization or community-based organization or refugee-led organization here in Rhino Camp, to the globe, to the world, to also know that we do similar activities like supporting women, supporting girls, supporting the community, to also catch up with life after COVID and some conflicts in South Sudan and other parts of Africa, like Congo and so on. So we are very proud to share our activities with you, to also appreciate each other in this forum. Thank you so much. Yes.
We're just quickly checking. I know that Awilo Alfred is traveling today all the way to Kenya, so he may not be able to join. But we first want to just say that we are thrilled that through the One Home journey, this is really showing how concrete our global partnerships are, that we are connecting on the ground, both in Uganda and then next in Kenya, with the grantees of Purpose Earth, our beloved partner with whom we are in synergy on this journey. And that's why it was so important to meet with you here, and that to have you all here. And we hope we will hear a bit more from you. Maybe you give us just a little bit. We can see the people with you sitting there in the office of YCA at the Rhino Camp. Say just a line or two about yourselves, where you come from, your names, how long you've been in the camp, so we get a feeling of the reality. And then we come over to Chem over here.
Thank you so much. My name is Bakata Alex. I'm a South Sudanese. I reside in Rhino Camp, a village called Ochea, This is where YCA is established. And I came here in 2016 after the insurgency in South Sudan. And we arrived here. We were welcomed with through the office of the commandant, office of the prime minister. And we got settled. But in the process of settling, we realized a lot of challenges facing refugees, and particularly the youth. They were leading lives that were hard to see their future a bright one. So we first started by supporting women who came without their husbands, without children. They just escaped the violent area in South Sudan. And when we realized they could not open for themselves pit latrines, they could not build for themselves shelters. And so also we sat together as youth in Ochia, Rhino Camp. We organized ourselves and began excavating pit latrines for such women, and then construct some few grass thatch houses for them. So with that unity and the love that we developed between ourselves, among ourselves, we realized it was growing. Many youth started joining us, creating good environment between the youth and the women themselves, most especially those who have no relatives who can help them build for them some tukul, something like that. So we stood by them. So we immediately came up with the idea of why can't we get registered and become an organization that can continue supporting this, or lobbying also for other partners to support our initiative. So from that moment, we realized the feedback was good. We teamed out very well with some group of competent youths, of which same as he's here, also among the team that joined us. We did the best, and we made sure all women without husbands in the camps and without children who can help them get settled and be like other women also who have come and have their husbands as well. As such, we went into now lobbying. The first organization that supported us in creating and in building peace in Rhino Camp was an organization called Across. We got in touch with Across in South Sudan first. They were the first to start helping us with the materials for washing hands, materials for constructions. So we started supporting women and the other vulnerable children, and they also involve children in play activities like sports in order to build peace among them. As such, we grew from there. We also went as far as getting some fundings from another organization in Uganda called CRVPF, which represents Children Rights and Violence Prevention Fund. They also supported us with some funds for 2 years to build now capacity of women and the youth in the area of Rhino Camp by training them various life skills. For example, we trained some women in tailoring, we trained some in poultry rearing, we trained some in hairdressing. There's so many activities that we work together. So what we realized is most of them started coping out with their financial difficulties. They started moving forward, and that gave us a very huge boost.
Thank you so much, Alex. This is just fantastic to hear from you. And we really, really appreciate this beautiful context. If you just move the camera around so we can see the faces of your partners, what we will now do is we're going to make the bridge from from Rhino Camp to Nakivale. And I will just request your colleagues there, please say your names and which country you're from. And Alex is beautifully explaining the backgrounds. Just let us hear your names. Please go ahead. And then we will move on to Nakivale so that in the time we have, we are able to hear you all. Oh, we've got frozen.
Leader, RWC1 chairperson, that's also part of the community around here. And I was happy to be here to see the team that's coming to see the YCA that has been part of the community, which happened to be helping a lot of young people to be able to catch up with their needs and the skill that they are supposed to get. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Dr. Richard John and the Rhino Camp, particularly GSC cluster. Very happy to receive from abroad. So far, we are happy to see that the change just brought up by you to lift up into certain level of advantage to continue bringing up the youth with the skill training so that they can be able to sustain their lead. So far, the resilience will be brought up by the support from you.
Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt briefly, dears. The reason is that it started raining here very heavily, and we may lose our connection here. So I ask you to please hold on. We are going to make you also the co-host. So in case it breaks down here, please share a little bit more about your background so everyone can be inspired. But for now, we quickly will jump over to Nakivale. Silas is, yeah. Oh, yes. What we will do, dear Shem, is we will come back to you so that people can experience, because they've beautifully got a feeling of the Rhino camp, but it's going to become very difficult to hear over here. It's raining very heavily. So please bear with us. Tatiana, please make Rhino camp the co-host so that in case we break down, you can go back to them and continue with them. And you can also continue with the other speakers from Nakivale who are joining directly from Nakivale. But for now, we will just make the transition. And if you can't hear us, we will go on to the other speakers from Nakivale. Thank you so much, Rhino Camp. Please remain the co-host and hold the show for us. Many thanks. And Shem is here with us, and you will hear him shortly.
I can see it.
So,
Dear friends, we're doing a quick sound check. Ibrahim, is our voice still clear?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. So we continue, and we are moving actually to Nakivale. And what we would like to do, we want to tune you in. And I want to check if our friends from Vera World Music are online. And Ibrahim would like to ask you to spotlight them, because in the middle of Nakivale refugee settlement is an extraordinary music group, which is called Vera World Music, which is transcending all cultures. And I see they're coming on here. And Rufin, would you mind to introduce this creative young group before we hear their voices?
Yes, actually, hello everyone. This is Rufin Kumbwa speaking. I'm leading Full Circle Learning, which is an education organization, and we really want to fill the gap that is in education in order to transform the future. And as and in the work that we do in order to prepare to foster future leaders, we also engage into the community.
Let Vera perform, and you can speak after the game.
Yes, we are going to directly introduce the Vera music worldwide, which is going to give us an a cappella of one of their songs, and you're going to listen to them. These are the brides and brilliance young people who want to keep the culture alive by using music as their tool to also protect the culture and make everyone feel as if they are in one home in order to also raise their cultures and keep them alive. They are going to give us one song, and you are going to listen to it. They'll use Swahili to make everyone understand this language. And we are also going to share on the chats the translation of this of their song in English. Thank you so much.
Perhaps we're going to add one line. It is their own composition. And the three musicians you're going to hear, the one is coming originally from Congo, the next from Burundi,
Yeah.
and one from Rwanda.
Yeah.
Dear Bira, world music, music worldwide, are you ready?
Yes, sir, we are very ready. Ready.
Please go ahead.
Yes. Pambana asubuhi kwenye baridi kali, kipindi cha mchana kukiwa jua kali, tafuta kihalali si kwa ukatili, tumia viungo vyote kutafuta ugali. Mama muuza matunda sokoni, boda boda na madereva njiani, baba mkulima asubuhi shambani, tafuta riziki popote ulipo hadharani. Fanya kipaji chako ndo kiwe mtaji, life knows either way, tafuta kazi kidogo upatacho tumia vizuri, Mungu ubariki mtafutaji. Pambana usichoke, leo zaidi ya jana. Pambana usichoke, usikate tamaa. Pambana usichoke, leo zaidi ya jana. Pambana usichoke, usikate tamaa. This year, you gonna make it. This year, this is your year. Amka kapambane, usilale katafute mane. No, don't give up. Kutafuta makuta. Jua maisha safari, hali itakuwa shwari. Uoni upepo wa habari. Mungu ndo mpaji naye atakupa mtaji. Jua kupata foleni, zamu yako itafika tu. Pambana usichoke, leo zaidi ya jana. Pambana usichoke, usikate tamaa. Pambana usichoke, leo zaidi ya jana. Pambana usichoke, usikate tamaa.
Hali yangu ngumu najua, ila sijakubali kulala. Kula kwangu shida, kulala kwangu shida. No, dunia naiona giza. Nazidi pambana, me one day nitafika. Kila siku loss, nachofanya loss, naamini ipo siku yatakuisha. Kwangu baridi, kwangu mateso, ila yote Mungu ananirinda.
Monday to Sunday kusaka mamoni, falanga faraja mafuta ya body. Money, oh money, every time I pray for my God and bless it, money walishe nyumbani. Mami, oh mami, I remember what you told me, my mama. Daddy, oh daddy, ipo siku tutajaonana. On my way kuzisaka hela, napambana sichagui ajira, kama zege tuichange zege. Mlimaji ya chagui jembe, masela msichoke pambana. Usilegeze kazana. Siku tavimbo siogope.
Pambana usichoke, leo zaidi ya jana. Pambana usichoke, usikate tamaa. Pambana usichoke, leo zaidi ya jana. Pambana usichoke, usikate tamaa. Thank you.
This is Vera music.
Wow.
So much. And it was an outstanding highlight and a great surprise. Rufin and Roger and you get our team in Nakivale had prepared the surprise for us when they brought us to the group of Vera musicians who comprise dancers, musicians, men and women of all generations, all ages, many cultures, truly a world community that we experienced dancing and singing, and it just blew our hearts away. Thank you for being here and surprising our beautiful participants from around the world. With this, what we're going to do is till the rain calms down on this side and you hear the beautiful stories and innovations of our family, Rufin, Roger, and you get who are with us, who have traveled with us from the border to Nakivale. They were supposed to come to Rhino, but they are now here in Sina with us. We are going to actually invite our 2 new homes for humanity in Nakivale, a refugee settlement, to come forward. I'm just seeing whether Ishara, if you are on the call, if you could kindly spotlight Ishara. Thank you. And please stay online, Bira Music, because you're going to meet some other beautiful musicians, and we want the co-creation to begin and bring you into the world so that the whole world is inspired by your music.
Thank you. Okay, we are still online. Yes.
Great. So we are looking to Ishara, who is in, and we just spotlight you, Ishara. So let us just do a brief introduction to Ishara. Rufin, if you would kindly come forward and introduce Ishara and why it was that you felt we would need to visit Ishara's great innovation and hear Ishara's life story. Are we doing? Okay, we don't see him right now.
Right in the chat. I'm just looking for her.
Okay, yeah. So don't worry, he'll probably come back into the call. He must have dropped out. So let us go straight actually to new talent.
New talent, yeah.
Muhindo on the call?
It's there.
Okay, we just spotlight Muhindo. Could you spotlight him, please?
Is there.
Yeah. So we are just spotlighting. This is a story that's just going to blow you away. So yeah, if you can just spotlight, remove. Yes, and Roger, is it possible to spotlight us as well as Muhindo? And Muhindo, is it possible to turn on, please, your video so that we can hear you both and see you both? And Roger, please come here. So these are the 2 co-founders of our new Home for Humanity in Nakivale Refugee Camp, which is called New Talent for the Best Future.
Well, hope we are on.
Please, I'm just going to spotlight you. Tatiana, could you please spotlight us as well so that you can see Roger as well next to Muhindo on the call?
They should both be there now. Both of you.
And if you can just mute everyone else. Yes, Muhindo, please go ahead. Do you see us? Do you see Roger and Muhindo side by side?
Yes, Rama. For us, it's you 2 together. You don't see like this?
No, we don't.
I see Muhindo and I see Roger.
Let's go ahead. No
So-
worries. Okay, that's it. We got it. Can everyone just choose the multi-speaker view so you can see these 2 beautiful brothers side by side and hear their story? And anyone who's not muted, we request you to please mute.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very privileged to be here tonight, as it's night actually this side of Uganda. And I want to thank very much the One Home for Humanity movement. This is to recognize the greatness of this movement and the impact that you want to build throughout the refugee camps, and of course, empowering the refugees, part of it, the refugee youth. And I would really love to tell everyone on this call that refugees are having potential. Refugees are able to also contribute to the change that you want to see in the world. So whenever they come from and whatever lifetime that they are going through, these people are having remarkable talent, skills, gifts, and potentials that are very needed in their communities, part of it. And of course, also something very meaningful that we need for the whole world. So by the names of Roger Skivati, and recognizing the beauty and the lovely brother that I work with, and I really didn't know him before, but now I call him a brother to whom I didn't really know. And yeah, it all started with a passion that I had I myself when I was in Congo. That was in 2018. When I finished my secondary school, my passion was to go for university, but this didn't happen just because of the war and the situation that's happened to me. I was obliged to seek for refuge in Uganda. This passion that I hold, that I had actually in me, really didn't stop from there. And when I reached Nachi Valley, I had the potential and the passion to really continue with my education. So my target was to learn different skills so I can be able to really hit the dream and the passion that I had in me. So this is where the idea started from. And it started from when I met my brother Muhindo, and I would love him to really connect, to let you through the story that we really got together, and let him tell us about the new talent for the best future, how we started it, and how we are now becoming a one home for humanity and recognized by the one home movement. And we are really want to say thank you for that. And please, over to you, Coach Muhindo, and thank you for having me.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Muhindo Mtundi. I'm a coach at New Talent for the Best Future, and the founder of New Talent for the Best Future. Yeah, so happy to have you all here. All the staff and the group of Home for Humanity. Thank you so much. Okay, we work with New Talents for the Best Future, organization that help young people and youth to raise their talents through education, sports, arts, and social skills. This group started when I met Mr. Roger. He's my brother, and it started when I came to Nakivale. I remember it was on 2021. Before living in Kampala for some days, I just felt to pay rent in Kampala. Then I was
Dear Mohini,
transferred
would you be
to.
willing to share your story of the age you were when you came, and just very quickly, just the situation in which you came to Nakivale, and maybe likewise, so people can understand the context.
Okay, yeah, I came naturally when I was 14 years old, and through to the hardship life that I faced in my original country, which is DRC, Republic Democratic of Congo. It was hard for me after losing my brothers, sisters, and my family because of the war that was going in DRC, and that is still there right now. And I lost my parents, my sisters, and I was forced to run away from the country. Yeah, to come in Uganda and be settled in Nakivale refugee settlement. Yeah, I met Rogers, and remember in Nakivale refugee settlement is a place where you easily get traumatized due to the hardship life that is there, because you find yourself that you are lonely, you don't have a friend, you don't have someone that you can be talking to, and you have something, you have a past that's you're thinking much about where you're coming from um, after losing a lot. Then I was traumatized because I was remembering about my parents, my beautiful family that I had. It was hard for me because when I was remembering my parents, my sisters and my brothers, I was feeling so sad, and up to now it's still hurting me so much. Uh, when I meet Roger, I told him about my story, and he also shared about his story. We feel like we were like connected together about our stories, and we starting friendship, and we just uh, came with one idea of bringing youth together so that we can be sharing our stories. Because I personally, I believe that when I share my story, I let go the heart, I let go the pain that's on my heart. Then we started from there. I started sharing my story, the way things was, the way life was tough for me in Congo, the way I was about even to lose hope in Nachivale refugee settlement. Roger also shared his story. That was very touchable to people who were there, and also them shared their stories, and we feel that we was learning from those stories, and we started there a group of youth that is called New Talents for the Best Future, a group that's now have built a home far from home uh, that we call New Talents Home, a place where everyone feel home, a place where everyone feel better, a place of happiness, and a place of, of future leaders. We are grateful for the home for humanity, for recognizing our work and the efforts and everything that we are making in Nachivale refugee settlement. Thank you so much.
That was very beautiful from my brother. I call him a brother, but I actually never knew him before. And now we are co-creating a home away from our home, and other people are joining us so we can make a very high impact together. And now I'm very privileged, and I see that we are growing up on a level that the One Home for Humanity and the One Home for Humanity movement has really also recognized us. Our mission, we believe that we want to make a better world and for everyone. And of course, with all these people coming together with us, we believe that we are going to reach towards that goal. And you, if you're on this call, know that we also need you to be part of us so that we can reach that very young people who is out there, who is willing to raise his or her talent for the best future.
Truly, seeing you both on the screen, dearest friends, I'm just going to ask Tatiana to share just a few of the many, many photographs and videos which we will be sharing with you soon from this new talents for the best future, because as we enter this home away from home, we truly experience the joy these orphans, these abandoned young children feel, being so loved, so given the skills and the passion. And you tell every child, you are the future, you are a change maker, and we could feel it in all of the young leaders. So young, starting so young, doing so much. We also planted a Unity Park. I don't know that, Tatiana, if you've received the photographs and can quickly share them on the screen. If not, we'll be sharing them very soon with you. Thank you and congratulations. As you're on the screen, we also honored, just hand over to Alexander.
Yes, I would like to conclude what is of incredible beauty also that Roger by now, together with Rufen, has joined the Home for Humanity team. So we are going to work on many levels together, on the home-to-home level, but also as a team member. And Mohindo, thank you so much for the brotherhood that the two of you are portraying in creating futures for hundreds of destitute children. We have seen it with our own eyes, the light in the eyes of these children and the impact. And when we planted a Unity Park on the grounds of new talent, we had the most extraordinary experience of communion and of looking into the future. And very closely also connected to new talent for the best future is also our second new Home for Humanity, also embedded in the midst of Nakivale refugee settlement. It's called Arise. Arise Nursery and Primary School. Again, a place, transformative education for the youngest of the youngest, the most vulnerable. Unfortunately, its founder, who started already in its early 20s, is this innovative school, which now gives host. Is he in? Its founder, Ishara, is unfortunately not with us. He's trying to log in, but we are promising very soon a full video on sharing what is happening over there for you to connect to Nakivale, but on the other hand, also to see how we can jointly support this network. What is very important for us that all these organizations are not working in isolation, but with the help of Rufen and Roger and others here, they are working together as a web and helping each other. Here, we're getting a couple of pictures, in fact, of Arise. You see the children. These pictures actually have moved. They were dancing and performing in the most beautiful way for us. And we have seen what this school is doing for the community. Thank you, Tatiana, for flagging that up. And then we would want to see if James from Akbon is with us, because there is an organization within Nakivale that brings the different community-based organizations together in a network called Akbon, like action, good action. Akbon there's a lot of French speaking, as you can imagine, also in the refugee camp. And James, are you with us? He is acting for many of the young social entrepreneurs like Rufen and like Roger, as an older brother, helping as an elder, helping to weave the fabric of social innovation in the camp. If you could have James, Evrim and Tatiana on screen and have a couple of words from your side, how you are working on the fabric, the social fabric within Nakivale. There you are. The floor is yours, James.
Yes, I'm called James Buinika, coming from République démocratique du Congo. I'm a French speaker, but here now I can
say a few words in French parce qu'il y a beaucoup de francophones qui sont avec nous et j'ai promis qu'ils entendront un peu de français. Donc, dans vos 2 minutes, parlez 2 minutes en français, 2 minutes en anglais, c'est super.
Très bien, très bien. Bonjour à tous par les noms. Normalement, c'est Buinika Joseph, mais ici, avec mon prénom, il m'appelle James Buinika. En fait, je vis ici à Nakivale Refugee Settlement. Je vais faire maintenant 10 ans que je suis ici. J'ai quitté le pays par rapport à beaucoup de problèmes ou des situations qui sont en train de se passer à l'est de la RDC, parce qu'au Congo, normalement, il y a la partie ouest et la partie est qui ne sont pas de la même manière. Nous, sortis de l'est, ça ne va pas. Il y a la guerre, il y a beaucoup de violence et vraiment, c'est par grâce que nous parvenons à respirer. Et voilà, j'ai quitté le pays une fois arrivé ici en Ouganda. Je me suis installé à Nakivale. Et à Nakivale, j'ai rencontré beaucoup de souffrances aussi, parce que bien que les gens ont fui, mais beaucoup ont laissé leur boulot, tu avais du travail, tu étais quelqu'un, mais ici, tout le monde est au même pied d'égalité. Vous êtes à la ligne, demandez 2 kilos de maïs, 1,5 kg de haricots, et la vie était devenue extrêmement difficile. Voilà que j'ai rencontré tous les gens, presque la majorité autour de moi, étaient stressés. Alors, je demandais aux gens, mais pourquoi les gens ont l'air traumatisés? Ils m'ont dit que chacun venait avec son problème propre à lui. Voilà que j'ai pris l'initiative maintenant de créer une organisation. La première organisation que j'ai créée, c'était To Check Movies Production, parce que moi-même, je suis acteur et réalisateur de cinéma, de films à partir de la RDC. Alors, j'ai créé To Check dans le sens de redonner le sourire à la population d'ici, dans les camps, et surtout encourager les gens de commencer, de reprendre tout à zéro. Tant que tu respires, tu n'es pas encore mort, tu peux toujours entreprendre. Voilà, j'ai commencé à créer des vidéos inspirantes. J'ai commencé à faire certaines petites comédies. On a fait des films éducatifs. Et après ça, voilà que j'ai été remarqué très vite dans la communauté. Et j'ai été maintenant choisi comme leader. Maintenant, là, je suis leader qui chapeaute l'Umbrella. C'est comme une plateforme qui a au moins à son sein, dans les environs, déjà 200 organisations qui sont ici. Les organisations sont dans Naki Valley, ACBON, ça s'appelle Association of Community-Based Organization in Naki Valley. Et voilà que j'ai été même parmi certains étudiants ou les boursiers, les bénéficiaires de Social Innovation Academy, ça s'appelle SINA, Uganda. J'ai fait partie de ça. J'ai été aussi parmi les coachs de Opportunity. Opportunity, c'est une organisation where refugees are creating their own opportunities. Donc, les réfugiés créent leurs propres opportunités, comment survivre et gagner la vie. Voilà, c'est un peu ça, moi. Peut-être je vais pouvoir parler aussi en anglais.
Infiniment. Et ça fait tellement plaisir d'entendre le français et on salue ce couple de visionnaires, vous et votre femme, votre First Lady Betty, qu'on a eu le bonheur de rencontrer. Et je souhaite rajouter en plus de ces initiatives par des jeunes, Rufin, Roger ont aussi organisé qu'on rencontre des initiatives féminines menées par des jeunes femmes. Donc, il y avait Betty, qui a une association pour les femmes. Il y a Novempa, qui a été lancée par une femme à l'âge de 20 ans, Rose, qui devait être avec nous, mais qui ne pouvait pas. On a aussi rendu visite à Misericordia. Et Misericordia a même préparé un repas collectif pour nous, pour que toute la communauté des activistes, des change makers puisse se réunir. Donc, merci infiniment, James. And I just wanted to summarize, thank you, and just say that it's fantastic. Yes, James, just 1 minute more, go ahead.
Yes, yes, sir. I can't pass without appreciating my mentor, my coach, my brother, I don't know how to call him, Mr. Etienne Salbon, because I'm seeing him on the chat.
Oh.
I'm one of the students because we have been in Django International. So I'm the first winner of the pitching at Social Innovation Academy. I say hi to Mr. Etienne.
Good to see you, James.
Nice to see you, long time.
Yes, it's been a while.
Etienne, this is beautiful.
I can see Etienne. Oh, my brother.
These are really the bridges, because you have to see how excited Josephine and David were looking when they saw you, James, because these are the bridges. Also, Roger won the first prize.
Hello, my brothers and sisters. I'm happy to see you. Oh, my dear, long time.
Nice to see you. We are all here.
I'm more than glad.
And soon, Sina will also be in Rhino Refugee Camp. Let's have a word from you, Chem.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I will just expect Shina so that we could also win.
Sorry?
We expect Shina and Rhino come so that we also win.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
great. That's great.
Shem, just add, your life as a refugee, you mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot. Team, I'm just happy with the one home journey. It sounds like I'm already getting into the journey. My name is Shem Henry. I'm a refugee from South Sudan. The ugly thing with my story is it's my third time. The third time to be a refugee in life. So I've lived my life as a refugee. The first time I became a refugee was in 1994 when I was 9 years old, very small. I started my primary one in Uganda. As a refugee under trees, we were sitting on stones. I didn't expect I would be meeting the whole world through this one phone call, I mean the international call. This time, it's a little bit different because when we came, the support was good and a lot of partners were supporting refugees. We had food from day one up to the end. But now what is unique this time is that we no longer have the support that we used to have as refugees, you know, like practically because of the prioritization policy, we now get 3 kilograms of food ration for the whole month. So this has affected refugees a lot, and it has actually made life very difficult in the refugee settlement. So this idea of coming up with Youth Camp Africa was conceived because of things not improving at home and life becoming hard in the settlement. So we actually put among thorns, because you can't go back home, and here where you're hosted as a refugee, life is difficult, you can't move on. So we have realized that as youth, personally, job opportunities are not there. Some of us have basic education, but because of government policies, because of limited job opportunities, you find a lot of youth are rendered idle on the streets. So as refugees, we found life very difficult. And for us who at least had little education, we could volunteer. And volunteering means you don't have a permanent contract. You may be engaged on daily pay. You get something little that will push you maybe for a little time. So as youth, we thought of how can we make the refugee settlement a home. Because if your home is not getting better, because when talk about home, people think of their origin. They look at the original home where they got displaced from. So we as youth came up with an idea of coming together and harnessing some of the skills that we have, or even develop new skills that were not there, so that we become relevant in the refugee settlement and we begin to hustle so that we can survive. So it is actually worse with the other category of refugees. Like the war in South Sudan is so difficult that most of the women lost their men. So at the time of displacement, we lost most of their men. So you find the settlement is full of women who are living as single mothers. So we also thought of like, how can we make the refugee settlement a home for such a woman who cannot have now a source of living? So the idea also incorporated aspect of empowering these women by giving them some skills that can make them job creators, so that they can create for themselves opportunities of raising something to support their families. So basically, this time life is a little bit hard because most of the services that used to come to the settlement are no longer there. We have heard of wars in other parts of the world that have affected the funding. All the agencies, most of the UN agencies, even big partners, are already crying that there's little funding, so they can't give much to the refugees. So as youth, we are thinking of at least empowering ourselves and empowering other community members, so that they can now get the required skills and do something for themselves. We're not only concentrating on economic empowerment. We also look at leadership, because we know the war in South Sudan is because of failed leadership. So we have brought in the concept of leadership, so that we can bring more, we can bring out more youth to become leaders, and they will be the ones that will bring peace to our country. And this is a ground where we can work a lot to make sure that we change mindset of people. Yeah. We have the element of peace being instilled in the refugees, so they become the change agents. If you don't do this, it becomes hard. Then again, we have the aspect of financial literacy. We have limited resources. We have very few resources, but it's hard. It's hard to manage the little resources you have. So we also have that as one of the key skills, so that if we get little support from the partners, how do we use the little resources we have? So the aspect of financial literacy is what we are trying. So as as Youth Camp Africa, we are looking at one home. The whole world has one home. Because when you tell a refugee, or when you talk to a refugee about home, he thinks of where he gets displaced or where he comes from. But we are seeing here that the whole world is one home. So I think this one home journey is taking us to one home. So that even if you're a refugee, you know you're still at home. Wherever you are, you're still at home. So let us just create the refugee settlements to be home.
Wow. Wow.
Thanks.
Jem, thank you for traveling for so many hours to come to speak these powerful words, and the big important message you said, which Youth Camp Africa is doing, which all of the youth-led initiatives in Nakivale are doing, the youth leadership and the refugee youth leadership. This is what on this call, we have a very important program on the One Home Journey, which is Youth for the Future. And what's key in that is the refugee youth, because you have done it, like you said, 3 times in your lives, coming up from the ashes like phoenixes and creating a new future. So with this, we are so thrilled. We're going to hear
We are going to hear Rufin, but I would like to mention one of the highlights of Shem coming all the way, driving through the night from Northern Arua here to be with us is also, as we are weaving here on the grounds of SINA, the social innovation web all together, so that these initiatives build ties, work ever closer together. And Rufin, being based in the Nakivale Refugee Camp, is building the hub for Home for Humanity in that camp, helping to tie these initiatives together for larger impact.
Yes, thank you so much. This is Rufin Kungwa speaking, and I'm leading Full Circle Learning. Regarding the gap that is in education, this makes it not be inclusive, and in leadership also. That's why Full Circle Learning aims to transform and make young people embrace their role of community change agents and leader and community leaders. In that way, we train teachers and student ambassadors to prepare them to become leaders of tomorrow through the manual that we call Fostering Future Leaders. And in the same way, we enable them to be taking the front of leading, as with the motto of to lead is to serve, and to serve is to lead. This is with the little action that you do in the community, you'll be leading without even knowing, by serving the community. And in the same way, I'm also a lead weaver at Youth by Youth. This is a community platform that's brings young people together in order to transform education through their methodology of 3 steps. So this is what is, what if, and what now, which is all about discovering the challenge in the community and coming up with the solutions, and start taking actions without delaying and remaining at one point. And in the same way, is all we want to come together in the community. Regarding living in Nakivale refugee settlements, where people are not even getting enough support in terms of cash, getting like it's only 13,000. This is all about $3
$3
per month.
$3 per month. Please, everyone, get this $3 per month per person or per family.
Yeah, per person. And that's why Misericordia Foundation women came together in order to start doing different activities, leading and accompanying women to understand, to discover their rights, and also enable and empower women to sustain themselves by taking actions in agriculture. And we also enjoyed the mushrooms from Misericordia Foundation. And this was something really amazing. That's why we are coming together, and we are trying in weavership program. We want to link and connect different places, like refugees who are the refugee-led organizations which are based in Nakivale, to be linked in other different camps like Rhino Camp and many more. And as we are already at SINA, this is also another part of connecting the work that we are doing in Nakivale to be also recognized by other people and invite them also to be engaging other young people from Nakivale refugee settlements. And in that way, we are also part of a Home for Humanity, and we have started together the journey, the One Home journey, and that's why today we are at Sina, and I really appreciate their ways of being kind and welcome everyone to join the organization. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we have to share one extraordinary moment that we were so fortunate that we could literally live inside the refugee settlement because of the great arrangements made by Rufin and Roger and Uget, and really feel life day and night with them. And the great grand finale, he mentioned Misericordia Foundation, the Women of Misericordia Foundation, and the own mother of Rufin and Uget prepared a meal with the food from their own farms, from their own cultivation. And we brought the community of change makers together, including those you've met today and many others. And I'm going to ask Tatiana to share what was a sweet dessert, you could say, the sweet grand finale. And if you just play that video, guess what the message is? There you see Betty and James. Yes, let's just play that little video.
More time, let's go. All right.
Okay, so Nakivale is a home for humanity. And that's literally what we felt, that this entire refugee settlement of 170,000 people facing such deprivations, despite that, because of the leadership, Chem, that you spoke about, because of the Ubuntu, because of the love, the solidarity, the support, the selflessness, these youth work completely as volunteers and always choose to work as volunteers rather than Uganda gives them the freedom to go into the cities and start enterprises or jobs, but they choose to come back to their settlements and work for the community. And this is why, Chem, what you talked about leadership is so important. This is what we have witnessed. And as you said, Chem, let every refugee camp be a home. Let our whole earth be a home for humanity. This is what SINA is. This is what you have made. Youth Camp Africa has made Rhino Camp. This is what all the work that the youth leaders are doing in Nakivale has made Nakivale. With that,
friends, you have heard the powerful voices and the dynamic dedication and commitment from different inspiring voices and organizations, starting from SINA all the way up to the Rhino Refugee Camp, the Youth Camp Africa, our friends and innovations within the Nakivale refugee settlement. Let it settle in as we continue the work here on the ground. Please use the chat actually to share your perspectives. All of them are part now of the global community, and we open the mic in a moment. But before we do that, we take the great gift of our brother and friend Enzo Ika, who is himself a refugee from Congo, living since 2 decades now in Turkey in refuge. And Enzo has been tortured and put in the most difficult of situations, and yet he was rising out of this situation and became one of the leading refugee musicians, publishing 12 albums in his life. Enzo is with us, is giving us a taste of his music written in refuge, while after that we are opening the mic to hear your voices and responses. Enzo, are you there? Can we invite you to the stage?
I don't actually see him in the chat anymore. So I'm not sure if he fell out of the meeting, but I'm looking for him and he seems to not be listed.
Okay, don't worry. We'll see if he comes back. He was on the call for a long time. Mira, huh? Okay, so what we will just do is, with this, as you saw, what the One Home Journey really seeks to do is draw these beautiful this weaving of the connections and highlighting the change makers and supporting them in the country, but also making the international connections. So with this, we are really launching the refugee-led Youth for the Future, and we will keep doing so. So we want to draw the bridge with Congolese refugees in Turkey. We'll be meeting Enzo when we are in Turkey, and in every country, wherever we meet with refugees. I want to ask Mira if you just want to say a quick word on this. So with this, we are opening the floor, but also I want to check whether our co-chair, Jean, is in the call. So Mira, a few words on the refugee-led Homes for Humanity that you want to support if you wish to come in for a minute, and then we turn to Jean and open the mic for everyone who wants to comment. Please do use the chat, because all of our speakers, all of our youth leaders would love to hear your individual feedback and comments and encouragement. And also we will share all of the contacts in the chat and with you by email and WhatsApp, all of their links, social media links, websites if they have them, so you can directly support them and be in touch and co-create with them.
You know, welcome Dr. Mira Sethi from India.
I'll just check if she's still on the call.
Yes, I'm on. Yes, hello, thank you. Thank you, everybody. It was fascinating listening to all the stories. And I am so happy that finally the Home for Humanity has brought the refugees as part of their movement, because this is something for the last so many years that I have been, every time I get a chance to speak in one of the meetings, I always talk about the need to bring refugees and migrants, two different target groups with very different needs and very different problems. And I think the Home for Humanity is an excellent platform, because when they leave conflict, when they flee their homes, they leave behind their assets, their homes, and they are struggling constantly to rebuild their homes. And offering this Home for Humanity to communities is so powerful. And I hope very much sincerely that as the new Swiss Earth Family Association that is now soon going to come into being, that we will be able to strengthen this part of the work as that on refugees. And this is very personal for me, because I've been working in this area for the last 30 years. I worked with the African Union. I have worked with the Economic Commission for Africa. So I have seen it from the top to the bottom, been in several refugee camps in Ethiopia, in Turkey, in Nepal, and met with many refugees, very bright, very intelligent, and just lacking the opportunities, simple opportunities. And so happy to hear all of you trying to get together and to self-help and to create some resilience and employment opportunities. Very hard, I understand. So this is really personal for me, and I hope to be part of this journey as we establish the Swiss Earth Family Association, which will have a special component on refugees. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mira. So as you know, from the very beginning of Home for Humanity, refugees have been a key part of the Home for Humanity movement. And that's why we were very keen that as the One Home journey goes from country to country, in as many countries as possible, we can spotlight refugees for the very reason that Cem mentioned. And this is why in Uganda, where there are so many refugees from so many African conflicts, we really took the opportunity to just be immersed with and spend all our time really highlighting both the work led by refugees, but also how the host community, Ugandans, doing outstanding work with marginalized Ugandans, are also doing so much to empower, support their brothers and sisters in refugee camps. This is beautiful. This is the moment to turn to our beloved Jean Houston, our co-chair, our mentor, our best friend. She has been holding us each time the car broke down. She would somehow miraculously appear, call us up, and just somehow get the car moving again. I have to say my parents have done the same. Every time our car broke down yet again, I would send a message to them and the car would start moving again, or if we had a crisis. But Jean, we turn to you now. We hope that we can see you. And please, everyone else, en anglais ou en français, maintenant c'est le moment. Nous sommes maintenant multilingues. Vous parlez dans votre langue préférée. And we highlight Jean. Jean, are you there? No, Jean is there. Tatiana, are you able to spotlight her?
Hear me now?
Yes, Jean.
Oh, good. Well, thank you so much. I think it is a wonderful metaphor that here I am in the United States, which is taken to be the center of culture, of science, and everything else. And yet, we can't seem to get through. And yet, you there in this extraordinary, powerful meeting in Africa are the ones who are sending the messages that are coming through. You are the ones who are giving us new light, new possibility. In fact, the picture of a new world where we all work and interact and co-create together. It is from Africa that there is clarity, there is sound, there is love, and above all, there is a world that works, that solves the great problems seemingly in small ways, but in fact are ways in which the whole world can create together. I am so profoundly moved by the beauty, the power, the truth, the goodness, the home for humanity that you all are creating. So I speak from America, where things are not working very well, but I speak also to each one of you who is the heart of the goodness, the greatness of what is happening in this world today. I am so deeply honored to be on this glorious, mythic call with all of you. Thank you. And I send you all my love and all the belief that you are the ones who are making the world move into the next possibility for all of humankind, for the earth herself, and for the oneness, the great oneness in which we are all coming together. Thank you so much.
Jean, truly as the visionary of our times, as the one who has shown what leadership really means, as the one who has taught us how we can be the possible human to create the possible world through each of your more than 30 books and your work in more than 100 countries. It is truly thanks to your mentoring, your example, your embodiment, your faith in us that we've been able to undertake this journey, and you've been with us every step. So you being here now, where those who are considered the most downtrodden have shown their brilliance, have truly shown the possible human, have truly lived up to everything that you know is possible. These refugee youth, these youth-led initiatives by young men and women, truly showing the future. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying what you said about them. Thank you for saying what you said about the One Home journey. And now we want to just ask everyone else who's on this call, especially those who are joining our call for the first time. Ceux qui sont avec nous pour la première fois, cette fois-ci, j'ai invité beaucoup de personnes de nos partenaires en France, Learning Planet Institute and Learning Planet Festival, Dialogue en Humanité, nos partenaires de notre communauté de communes, de Budget Sud, l'école Montessori dans le Budget Sud. Please, si vous voulez dire quelque chose en français, en anglais, pour encourager ces jeunes, pour connecter avec le One Home Journey, nous sommes ici pour vous entendre. Nous sommes tellement heureux de vous voir. English is also welcome, mais maintenant nous sommes multilingues. Donc, qui voudrait prendre la parole? Juste mettez votre... Thank you so much, Jean, and do stay with us to hear the voices of others. So we start with those who are joining the call for the first time, and Yusuf, if you're still there, we will hear you together with Tatiana's anthem at the end. Who would like to go ahead? Paul, you've been on the call many times before, so if you don't mind, I will see Olivier. We know how busy you are, mais pourtant vous êtes avec nous. Olivier, Learning Planet Institute and Learning Planet Festival. I give you the floor. Paul, I will come around to you in a moment.
Hello, everyone. I'm very sorry I haven't been there more often. We know each other for a long time. We are partners for this One Home for Humanity and University tour. I'm very impressed by all the connections you make and very, very supportive. So I put in the chat a list of programs around many different dimensions. Our mission at Learning Planet is to co-design the future of learning and many other aspects together with youth. So there's no place better than to do it with youth in Uganda and other countries and with the refugees. We have programs around peace building, programs about the design of education with youth, many others. I put everything in the chat. Just very, very happy to be a partner with you. Very impressed. I work with other organizations in Uganda. I hadn't had the chance to meet you all before. I mean, really, through you, Rama and Alexander, making all the connections and making sure we can work. The other kind of advantage we have is we are really working, we are based in Paris and we are working hand in hand with UNESCO, with UNU, with OECD and others. And sometimes this can add or bring some visibility. So very happy to host you for a session at the Learning Planet Festival next January. We'll see this with Raman and Alexander and maybe something else. We work hand in hand in France with one city, which is probably one of the poorest cities in Paris, but which also the mayor was elected best mayor of the world in 2020 during COVID. And it's the city in France that welcomes the most refugees. And we are really working hard also to make sure that there are good connections in France and that having many refugees in the city is just what we want. And it's a great example. And I think there'll be some interesting connections there too. I stopped not to be too long, but such a pleasure to be with you. And please, Rama, make sure I come as much as I can.
Thank you so much, Olivier. C'est merveilleux what you do and how you connect all of us. And Geneviève, notre adorable Geneviève of Dialogue en Humanité, merci à toi.
Oui, bonjour, je vais parler en français et je voulais vous dire que j'ai passé la journée au Festival de solidarité internationale à Lyon et donc de connecter avec la réalité en Ouganda et dans toutes les initiatives de Home for Humanity et en particulier tous les magnifiques témoignages que je viens d'entendre, mais c'est une merveille, c'est une inspiration pour chacun d'entre nous. Et je pense que vraiment l'avenir, le futur qui est en train de se construire à travers ce leadership des jeunes réfugiés autour de vous, des femmes, des hommes, des jeunes, des enfants, des musiciens, parce qu'il y a aussi cette dimension artistique, nous allons essayer de relayer tout cela sous les arbres à l'africaine, les palabres à l'africaine, les dialogues en humanité que nous essayons de promouvoir, où chacun vient porteur de ces initiatives et les partage avec d'autres. Et c'était exactement un dialogue en humanité que nous avons vécu aujourd'hui. Merci, merci à toute l'équipe de Home for Humanity et à ce réseau formidable et à chacune d'entre vous de tout cœur avec vous.
Merci Geneviève. Quel plaisir d'avoir on est très conscient de ton grand cœur aussi pour l'Afrique et le travail que tu as fait. Je vois qu'il y a un autre innovateur social et un grand éducateur de notre vallée en France où on habite, Isabelle Jaya, le directeur, la directrice de la Montessori École dans le Haut-Val-Romais. Isabelle, est-ce que tu peux nous entendre?
Alors moi, je vous entends. J'espère que vous m'entendez aussi.
Excellent.
Ouais, super. Ben, j'ai été absolument bouleversée de ces témoignages qui nous ont fait rentrer vraiment dans des parcours humains uniques. Et vraiment, j'ai été extrêmement touchée aussi de cet engagement auquel je m'attendais. Mais cette fois-ci, je ne sais pas pourquoi, plus que d'habitude, ces destins humains m'ont vraiment bouleversée. Donc voilà, moi je suis éducatrice. Les enfants, c'est bien entendu la force de demain. J'ai très envie de partager avec eux si ce n'est des moments, en tout cas des liens avec Home for Humanity, aussi avec les gens qui autour de moi travaillent l'interculturalité. C'est un vrai travail de se comprendre. C'est pas toujours simple, mais on le fait avec les langues et les nationalités qu'on accueille à l'école au milieu de la France rurale et magnifique du budget. On fait ce travail-là avec des langues et des cultures très différentes, avec vraiment l'envie aussi, voilà, d'inclure, d'adapter et de pratiquer tous les langages. Voilà. Donc, je ne vais pas m'étendre plus, si ce n'est pour vous remercier et pour surtout souhaiter que cette aventure continue et s'enrichisse de plus en plus de force autour de nous. On est dans un monde qui en a besoin. Voilà. Donc, merci à vous. Et à très bientôt.
Et on aimerait tellement Isabelle et Constance et d'autres de notre vallée qui ont été sur cet appel, qu'on puisse vraiment créer ces liens entre Naki Valley et notre village. Voilà, donc de notre village, notre communauté de communes. Donc, travaillons sur ceci. Merci beaucoup.
Merci Isabelle, and the floor is open if anyone else. Rama, you see Jean?
I see Jean. Jean Fabre.
Jean Fabre, est-ce que vous êtes...
Président de notre association à Genève et de dialogue en humanité.
Jean, est-ce que tu es là? Ça serait super d'entendre ta voix. If not, Paul, we are moving into a francophone country, to Canada. Paul Schaffer, the founder of the World Culture Project. Paul, beautiful to see you. Let us hear your voice.
Thank you very much, Rama and Alexander, for this opportunity. It's a privilege to have enjoyed all your presentations this morning. I learned a great deal from them. They were presented with so much love and passion and respect and concern. And I congratulate you all for that, for the new 2 homes for humanity that you opened up there, and for all you're doing to bring happiness and joy into the lives of the younger children, your colleagues and friends there, elderly people there. You're making enormous progress. I've had very little experience in Africa, but very quickly I will tell you that many years ago, I conducted a mission for UNESCO in Sierra Leone, and I went there for a period of time to work with the Ministry of Cultural Development there in developing a cultural plan for Sierra Leone, and had the opportunity to work with many people like yourselves in that country many years ago. What struck me about the experience I had there was that fortunately, after the project was completed, we managed to get a UNESCO fellowship for one of the key individuals in the ministry to come to Canada and to stay for us in our Home for Humanity, so we could learn much more about him personally. And then he had the opportunity to travel a great deal across Canada, talking to people in different parts of the country about his experiences in Sierra Leone and the privilege of being able to travel throughout our country. I'm hoping, and really hoping, that with the magnificent work you're all doing there, which is achieving so much, that you will have the opportunity not only to work there in your own communities and parts of the world, and particularly in Uganda in this case, but you'll have the opportunity to travel to other parts of the world, to meet with people in other parts of the world, and talk about all the success that you're having in developing the Home for Humanity situations and the movement itself. It's a wonderful movement, and congratulations on all your achievements.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Paul. We wanted to say that our goal on the One Home journey is led by these youth refugee leaders and other young leaders coming up around the world. guided by our indigenous elders and change makers, that we actually create a world that is one home, where refugees don't simply travel to other countries as refugees, as tokens, but where there is no longer a word called refugees, nor a word called borders, because we truly are one home, one family of life. And if we all put our minds together and our intentions together, this is the world we can create, and we are doing so all the time with all of your support. Thank you.
And we would like to add actually that the knowledge that we have harvested, co-harvested here in the most difficult of circumstances, all of this will also go into our shared one home university, where we harvest, where we co-learn, where we co-innovate and co-impact. More on this very soon. But for now, because I sense there is so much more to be said in this call, and so many are still online, but I want to also bring us gradually to a conclusion, as we have harvested richly today. We have learned a lot from our friends here on the ground who work in the most difficult of circumstances and lead the way to a future that can truly point towards a one home. So I say thanks to all our friends here in Uganda, but I want to invite our co-chair, our second co-chair, Dr. Youssef Mahmoud from Tunisia, probably now in New York, to speak to us. Youssef, you bridge so many cultures also from Africa, where you've put your heart in. Your first language is Arabic, which is the first language also of Shem, who is sitting here from Sudan. French was today in the call, which is your second language, and English, of course. So you may want, as you help us to draw this call to a conclusion, even bring all these languages into this space of one home. Youssef, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alexander and Rama, and all the inspiring leaders you have assembled who are teaching us how to spell home and leadership differently. Interestingly enough, a week ago, I participated into a futures thinking exercise where the privileged part of our world were brought together and asked them to imagine that their land has been flooded, so much so that they have no arable land to feed themselves, and they have to move on. What would they call themselves when they cross borders? Do they call themselves refugees? Migrants? Will that become their identity? Or they move across borders as masons, poets, teachers. And in order to sort of stimulate our discussion, one of them read to us this following short poem by a Somali refugee who currently lives in Nairobi. And it goes, it's very short, it's a long, but just few stanzas. No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark. No one would leave home unless home chased you, fire under feet, hot blood in your belly. You have to understand, no one puts their children in a boat unless the water is safer than the land. And this was the starting point of our conversation. And what transpired is that unless we start increasing in our bank, our collective bank, we start putting solidarity and dignity in these banks, many of these peoples who are privileged now, when they cross borders, may not find what they need. And so having a home is what this movement is all about. It's really what Alexander and Rama and all of us cheering them on are basically moving from one country to another, bringing threads and stitches of what should be increasingly our understanding of home. This has been for me an unbelievable education. Thank you so much for bringing us to our awareness that home is the place where you belong. And because you have been violently othered, it doesn't mean you don't have the DNA to reconstruct a new home for all of us. So many, many, many grateful thanks for your inspiring stories. And I feel privileged being one of the admirers of your work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dearest Yusuf. That was really such the perfect grand finale. And the only way after you've spoken to continue is to conclude with Tatiana's One Home Anthem. We could not think of a better time for us to sing it together. On this side, all of us here representing the SINA founders and community, representing Youth Camp Africa, and just imagine Youth Camp Africa friends in Rhino Camp. We are holding this with you. This is the peace pole. We'll all come, just pull your chairs together so we can all reach the peace pole. And we will please sing along, open your mics, put your comments in the chat, your feelings, everything that you wish for, and go for it, dear Tatiana. Get up and dance as well.
For too long, too many people have been left homeless. For too long, we haven't seen enough progress. For too long, exiled, displaced, and alienated, people walk this earth devastated. For too long, we've lived in separation, forgotten our true nation, this earth, the home to all future generations. Cut off from life, cut off from each other, we've forgotten nature, our only mother. This disconnect is our deepest wound. Towards wholeness, we must reattune. Whole life, whole person, whole systems, all cultures, one planet, if you feel this truth. Let's stand for it. Let's reclaim home as the destination. Choose inclusion over separation. And build a refuge, a sanctuary, a place of healing that nurtures and supports all beings. Let's build a home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of life. It starts within. It starts with me, it starts with you. Can we turn to ourselves and see ourselves anew? What do we love? What do we cherish? For what do we stand on this beautiful planet, this sacred land? It starts with community, creation, culture. Can we build together, my sister, my brother? It starts right here, right now. Put the life springs up all around, and we can walk through our garden. This home that we make, together we change humanity's fate. And from the local to the global, from the I to the we, from the north to the south, from the west to the east, all cultures, all borders, all peoples, all life, we can come together and ignite a home for all to which all belong. This is the prayer, this is the song, and you guys can sing it with me. Let's build a home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all ahead, a safe home, a safe family, a safe life, where there are no borders, no division. We live in harmony and peace, where these incredible young leaders are given this gift of just spreading their wings and giving their message to this world. You are all so beautiful. I have been so incredibly touched by every single one of your stories, by your hearts, by your courage, by your perseverance, by how much you have overcome and all that you have to give to this world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, each and every one of you. You are so deep in my heart. Homecoming, we are all becoming who we need to be to hold off this catastrophe, down on our knees with prayers for peace for this indivisible human family. Around the world, feel the hearts opening. Around the world, feel our hands extending. Around the world, feel this movement coming. All cultures, all peoples, one planet, one home. One home. One home. May this beam out into the world. All of you are so special and incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, our darling daughter. You have experienced our beloved sons, Rufin and Roger, and you get to stop there. The family is growing now with Sina, with Rhino Refugee Camp, Youth Camp Africa. Much love, and keep with us growing the family of life.
Mm-hmm.
The screen is open, the chat is open, the call is officially over, but we are still here. For anything you might want to say, just unmute, speak it out so that our hosts, our co-hosts in Youth Camp Africa, in Sina, in Nakivale can hear you. Maysoon, Jonathan, anything you want to say?
Yeah, very good evening, everyone. And yeah, I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Awilo Alfred, and it's actually not good to start with an apology. However, this is a very remarkable day in my life. This is a day that I have to remember it forever. And thank you, Papas. Thank you, our friends. One Home Journey. This is really has been the day that I'm supposed to be with the team in Rhino Camp today. However, God has every plan for us in life. This is not the end of our partnership. This is not the end of the day. On behalf of Youth Camp Africa, I want to sincerely thank Alex so very much. I want to thank Loatishem. So very great for standing on behalf of Youth Camp Africa. And this has been a time that we always been attending to such. However, coming to the end of the year, there are a lot that are on the table, need to be summarized as being the leader. Of course, I stand on several activities and several calls, which actually, as I speak to you right now, I'm actually just squeezed this time to say to you, but I'm actually traveling to Kenya this evening, and I really want to say all that had been shared by the colleagues, by everyone here, though I joined a bit late, but I want to really sincerely say, as YTA, we stand not only because we are refugees, but we stand as leaders in our community to see that transformation that we take back home once peace comes in South Sudan. And we came together strongly, united as refugee leaders to see that what are we taking back home once peace comes. And that's why we say, if we cannot do it right now at the Rhino Camp Refugee Settlement to our own fellow refugees, then what will we do back home in South Sudan? That's why we strongly came together and said that YCA exists today, that we're here. Sincerely, Papa Sat has broken the policy, because not that maybe they have done the badly, but I want to really say thank you so much, Papa Sat, because there's this belief in Rhino Camp refugee settlement that the refugee-led organization sometimes are unable to handle funds, unable to handle project, but Papa Sat was able to break that silence or break that promise by giving Youth Camp Africa the project, and the project has improved lives of people and have done a lot of impact in our community. And we want to say sincerely that if the trust will be given to refugee-led organizations, the life that are in the refugee camps, the dependence of the refugees can easily be addressed. So all this that I just want to sincerely say, thank you everyone. Thank you for our friends that have joined today. We will remember you in our hearts. We will remember you in our journey. We will remember you in our programs, and we will always be there for you. Please, if today we have not made it to Rhino Camp, we still say that the door is open for Rhino Camp, and the door is open to Youth Camp Africa office, and we will still host you one day, one time, fully, as the colleagues from SENA they hosted today, and we really want to also thank them so very much for all this. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Hearing you, Alfred Avila, this really is good. Now our feeling of being in Rhino Camp is complete. And please know this was not a one-off. It was, now we are carrying you with us for the rest of the journey. And Shem here from Sudan, from South Sudan, is a testimony to that. So we are together on the journey now with all of you and with Youth Camp Africa. And thanks to Purpose Earth for bringing us together.
Yeah, deep gratitude for that, the Honorable Avilo.
Maybe
Alfred.
and then Jean.
Jean, if you are ready, please go ahead.
Yes, good. This is what we have just experienced, dear friends, is something so powerful, so passionate, so important, because we all together are living in ending times, the ending of an old era, the ending of the deep unhappiness between peoples, and the beginning of not just a new world. It is also the time of literally another reality that has been waiting till this time to be born, to break through the old ways and to know ourselves, each one of us and everyone we know, as the ones on the frontier of profoundly new ways of being, new ways of doing, new ways of coming together. And certainly the Home for Humanity movement is probably, and I do believe this as a historian, one of the most important adventures, creations of our time. And I believe that we are all so, so fortunate and lifted up by the new journey of the new times, of the new reality, of the profoundly new ways of being and doing. What we have heard together from all over the world, but particularly from Africa, because Africa is the great birthing time, is it not? It's the place where new ways of being enter into time. From Africa herself, we have heard the design for a profound world that works for all of us, that works in our hearts, in our souls. It is the annunciation of the new time, of the new being, and above all, of the new creation, as we bring our hands, our hearts, our minds, our souls together in the announcement, the creation, the co-creation of a world that works for all. I feel so deeply honored to be here with all of you in what is maybe one of the most important times and moments in history, starting now, starting here, starting for a new world to be born. Thank you.
Thank you. We carry this with us, and we take that with the new life of Gabriella and all the generations to come, all the generations before us. Jean, we carry the energy that you have charged us with, that you have received from this call, from all of the young leaders, all of the young refugee brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters here. And with this, as you said, a new era, a new world is born. Thank you all for being here, all our love, our gratitude for your support and your accompaniment on this journey.
Good night.
Let's build a home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of life. It starts within, it starts with me, it starts with you. Can we turn?